So in District 49, we have an awesome Schoology for parents course. So my coworker Daniel DeJesus created this based off of an account that he received through his son's district. And it's really well put together. We do kind of joke a little bit with parents that it is info only, that they will not be required to take assessments or complete assignments, and there will be no grade given to them. Um, but you can see it's got just some folders here. Basically, what is Schoology? What is an LMS, a learning management system? A lot of our parents did not know what that was. Most of them do now, of course, since we've been doing a lot of this e-learning. How to navigate Schoology, comparing student and parent accounts, just like the video that was in the slide prior, different account settings. So as a parent, you can set up to get a daily notifications, what day, what time of the day you want those notifications, a weekly notification, what day of the week you would like those as well. Um, or and not or and if you want notification when your student turns in an assignment late. So it's a great way for parents to get that quick notification, and then they can go in and check really easily. Most of that information has came from the Schoology self-help site, which is great. And at the bottom, there's just a link to that parent guide and help center as well. So just a couple of quick things that I want to make sure you know. The parent accounts are read only. So that means when they're going into their student's account, they're not going to be able to submit, they're not going to be able to publish in a discussion, they're not going to be able to add to a media album, and they're not going to have any access to questions on an assessment. They'll be able to see the assessment, but they're not going to be able to go in and actually see what the questions are. And I know that was a big reliever to me. Like, they're not going to be able to see any of that. They're going to be able to see what their student has submitted or any assignments that are assigned to their student. So if maybe 4 or 5 students in the class have an assignment, but not my child, I won't see that assignment. I'll only see things that are assigned to him. Likewise, I can see as a parent what is submitted and what the submission looks like. It also date and time stamps everything. So that is really helpful when, a kid goes home and says, well, I turned it in and my teacher says I didn't. Well, guess what? It's date and time stamped if it's in there. Very seldom are there any kind of glitches with that. Also in discussions, parents can see the discussion question and they can see where their child has responded, or if they've responded to another student, but they don't see any of the other students in the classroom, their responses. Same with gradebook, they're only going to be able to see their child's grades, nobody else's, which is important. If you have course completion rules, a parent going in and checking that folder or those assignments is not going to make any changes to the course completion rules. Teachers can message parents in Schoology, and I think that would be up to you as to whether you would want to use that. When I was in the classroom, I really preferred for parents to email me, and so I set that up as kind of my guideline. Here's some guidelines for how we're going to be using this, and that'll lead me into just some tips that I think will help you from getting kind of overwhelmed or inundated or feeling crazy. One of the years that I was teaching, I had what we lovingly, jokingly, not really, called a mosquito parent. So you have your helicopter parents right there hovering up here. This mosquito parent was right here, like on her son's neck. Had to know almost when he was breathing. I would get probably 5 emails an hour from her, from everything to had he been to the bathroom or how much water had he had to drink. And this was a 5th grader, to why in the student information system gradebook, she wasn't seeing updates as quickly as she wanted to. So being able to front load information for parents, like, here's what you can expect. Grading in Schoology is going to be similar to grading paper pencil. I can't grade during the day because I'm teaching. What you might see automatically graded are assessments or test quiz unless there are longer responses. Those have to be hand graded. So parents know upfront, okay, if I get an alert that something's graded, it's probably been auto graded. I shouldn't freak out if everything that was due today is not graded as soon as my student checks it in. Um, I would also recommend you kind of play with the idea of having due dates and then a lock date. So maybe the due date is 2 or 3 days from when the assignment is published, but your lock date may be the week before grades are going out for the quarter or the semester, however you run your grading system. And that allows students time to get in late work. They can still submit it, but make sure parents know once the lock date comes and passes, they can't submit anything in there. But let them know that you're giving them some advance time to it. It's just like with students, if they know ahead of time, not all parents are going to pay attention, not all parents read their emails, but it's really easy to just kind of make a copy and paste your tips and tricks for here's how this is going to work with Schoology. Like I said, you can decide if you want parents to message you or if you want to send messages in Schoology. I know one of the things that we've heard a lot from our parents since they've been our kind of co-teachers in this e-learning situation is they really want to be sending and receiving messages in one place. So if I've got Schoology and I've got Seesaw and maybe I've got some other platforms that have messaging in them, I probably don't want to be messaging from a bunch of different places. Email is really, I think, the best way if you're talking to parents. Messaging back and forth within the platform for students, I think, is a lot easier, but I think it's really important that you just let parents know upfront how you want to send and receive messages.